We're kicking off our show today right here in the Virginia This Morning kitchen. Local executive chef, Seth Goulston, and a great recipe for you featuring pork and bacon, little apples and cheese. Good morning, Chef.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you. The good thing about a pig is that you can eat it pretty much from snout to tail.
That's correct.
And we've got a couple of different kinds of pork today with the pork loin and the bacon.
Yes, ma'am. So what we're going to do today is we're going to fabricate a pork loin that the stores are offering right now for $1.69 a pound. You want to get these as flat as you can, so we'll just open it up from the bottom.
So is that technically butterflying the pork loin?
Correct.
Okay.
So we'll just safely open her up.
Yes, please. Now, how do you go about picking a good pork loin for a recipe like this?
I often will make sure that the fat cap's on, so when it cooks, the fat will render through it, making it extra moist.
And really just kind of baste it in its own juices, right?
That's correct. It's going to help that we're going to wrap it in bacon, but
Yeah.
you know, a little extra never hurt anybody. So as we fillet it, we just want to, like a book fold almost, we're opening it up like a book so that it cooks evenly.
Now, I notice you're not literally cutting it in half.
We do not want to go through it. No, we want to just open it up, just like pages on a book.
Mm-hmm. That's quite the technique. Does that have a name other than butterflying?
No, we're just opening it up and getting ready to stuff it with our goodness. So we do have the recipe for this Applejack brandy fried apples on the website, but for today, we want to start with the cheese. So the cheese, as it cooks, will melt through. So this is boar's head, no filler, smoked Gouda, and we'll make sure we use plenty of cheese.
Oh, yeah. And the smoked Gouda adds a really nice flavor profile, doesn't it?
It does. With the sweet, with the smoke, it'll make it very nice.
Yeah, don't be stingy.
And we do want to just season it a little bit. The bacon will have a little salt, so we just want to go kind of light with it. But we don't, you're right, we don't want to be cheap with that cheese, do we?
You don't want to take that back to the store.
There you go. So then we'll just add our fried apples that we can be done ahead of time. All this can be prepped a little bit ahead of time, so that's quick. The cook time on it will be about 1 hour and 45 minutes once it's in the oven, but we just
Now,
want
what's the prep on the apples that you did? I know you said the recipe's on the website, which we'll link to ours, of course, but what's the prep on that?
It's very quick. In a pan, it's just butter, saute for about 9 minutes, and then chill in the refrigerator, and then add to your pork loin.
It smells fabulous. So is chilling it one of the keys to it? You don't want to put hot apples into the mixture, or is it okay?
It is okay, but just to cut down prep at the time of, you can have the apples done ahead of time, and just take them out of the fridge and add to the pork loin.
Okay.
So then we just want to close her up. And then we'll just wrap in bacon. This is Wright's thick cut Applewood smoked bacon, which is a very nice. We sell it in all of our stores.
Applewood smoked has become very popular these days. What is it about the applewood that makes the taste so good?
Good question. It's a sweet and smoky flavor that is very desirable.
Now I notice you're not using any tie wrap or any toothpicks or anything to hold this together.
No, once the protein starts to coagulate, it'll close itself.
The prep time on this is pretty quick. I guess the most difficult thing is getting it butterflied and then prepping the apples.
It's a very quick recipe and very easy recipe. If you do the apples in advance, it literally, other than the cook time, it'll take 10 minutes.
Now, did you have any special kind of apple that you used? I know you probably want to use a firmer apple for cooking.
We are actually looking to go into, we use organic apples just because that's what, we're looking to be the leading seller of organic stuff. So we wanted to just kind of showcase, and frankly, they're just a great apple. They're a tart apple, which makes a very nice finished product.
And is it, they're kind to it? I know Honeycrisp is very popular these days, and these are obviously not Granny Smith, but what are they? Just organic, green?
Yes, they're grown locally. They're grown in the Shenandoah Mountains.
Oh, wow.
So we're the leading buyer of those apples as well. Primarily, we just like to use organic stuff just to kind of make it a little bit healthier. And then this will go in the oven once it's stuffed and ready to go. This is as simple as it is. It'll go in the oven at 350 for about 1 hour and 45 minutes. It's going to depend on your oven. If you have a convection oven, a newer oven will vary the time by 10, 15, 20 minutes. But once the bacon's crisp and brown, you can temp it. You want an internal temperature of about 155, and then you know your pork's done.
Now, the key I found with pork is low and slow, isn't it? Cooking it so that it really gets cooked and tender.
Luckily, because we've wrapped it in bacon, it will not dry out, because the bacon will kind of send the fat right through it, so you're not going to dry it out. So
it's not going to let it do that.
Not going to let it do that. So low and slow, and then at the end, if you wanted touch the heat up a little bit, it would just brown off the bacon real nice.
Now, we don't have a tray to put this on right now, but how would we prep the tray? Do we want to cover it with aluminum foil? Do we want to cover this with foil, or we want to let it
Just
bake?
right into the oven, and let it go until it's brown and done.
And delicious. And you brought a finished product here, and that looks absolutely fabulous.
I have, and this is essentially what we're going for once it's done. We will have...
Here, we'll put this over here on my side.
Oh, sounds good, thank you. So we've stuffed it, and the Gouda will melt, the apples are here, and it's great this time of year. It's still cold out, it's family style, it's fairly inexpensive, it's $1.69 a pound, so you can feed 4 and 5 people fairly inexpensively, and you may even have some leftovers.
As I said, that probably makes really delicious sandwiches.
Absolutely, it does.
Well, this is wonderful. So all of these recipes and a lot of other recipes, I understand, are on your store website, right?
That is correct.
So we can find out how to do all this stuff. All right, well, Chef Seth, thank you so much for coming in
appreciate
today
being here.
and
Thank
showing
you.
us how to do this. This too can be in your oven in just a couple of hours with a little bit of prep time.